Welcome back here to Mighty Mac on YouTube. Like I've been saying in the past, if you enjoy the content that we provide here on the channel, to be sure to subscribe to the channel today so you don't miss any of the upcoming action as we head into the summer months of the NHRA season. We will be live at the track at Norwalk for the Summit Racing Equipment Nationals, and we'll provide all the updates that we can on the ongoing situation, not just with John Force Racing, but also the on-track racing action as well. So if you enjoy drag racing, if you want to get more involved in the sport and know what's going on, this is going to be the place to be. So subscribe to the channel today so you don't miss any of the action. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So another update has been provided on the situation involving John Force Racing. Notice I say racing as the team. A story was posted today on Auto Week by Mike Pryson, which kind of alludes further into what the plan might be for John Force Racing heading into Norwalk this weekend. Because of the short turnaround time that is taking place, it is going to be a big challenge to find a substitute driver in case John Force was not able to race this weekend. And this article does state a little bit further about what might be the case. I'm going to once again read the full article in its entirety, and I'll provide a link down below so that way you can go show them the support that they deserve due to the fact that he went out and got the information. I'll allude on that a little bit further later. So again, we'll read the full article, and then we'll start talking about what this can mean moving forward and what I have found out on my own. So the article reads as following. NHRA legend and 16-time funny car champion John Force hospitalized this week after a violent explosion and crash last weekend at the Play NHRA Virginia Nationals will not be racing this weekend at Norwalk, Ohio. The 75-year-old Force is not on the entry list for the Summit Racing Equipment NHRA Nationals, and according to an NHRA spokesperson who spoke with Auto Week on Wednesday, no replacement drivers entered to drive Force's funny car during the June 27th to 30th event. John Force Racing's other two cars, the Top Fuel dragster of two-time Top Fuel champ Brittany Force and the funny car of Austin Prock, are entered and expected to be on the starting line when qualifying begins for the Nitro machines on Friday at 6 p.m. at Summit Racing Equipment Motorsports Park. John Force Racing has yet to disclose the extent of any injuries that Force suffered in the incident. Force, in pursuit of his 17th funny car championship and first since 2013, is currently second in the NHRA Mission Foods drag racing funny car standings. Prock leads with 824 points, while Force is second with 693. So like was mentioned right at the end of the article here, there's still been yet to be any update on the condition of John Force. I'm going to allude to that a little bit further. Like I've said in the video in the past, I'm not going to speculate any further than I already have, nor am I going to show another replay of the accident moving forward until we get any sort of confirmation further on the condition of John Force. And with that as well, I ask you, the viewers, and anybody watching this video to do the same as well. I know that we all want to know the condition of John Force. We want to know how he's doing. We want to know if and will he be back and when it could happen. But the one thing we need to remember is this is a person that we are dealing with, and his life is at stake with this situation. As the matter of fact, we're not owed any explanation. This is an extremely personal family matter of a person who is a husband, a father, and a grandfather, and a mentor to many people within the NHRA paddock. So while we as media and fans want to know what's going on with the icon of the sport, the one thing we need to keep in mind is there is a person at stake with this and a lot of people that love that man to death. And we need to respect that and give them the time that they need, because this has been a very hard week for a lot of people, and moving forward, we need to respect that with what's going on. Something else I do want to point out as well, there's been an influx of people coming into the sport wanting to cover this. I understand why. One thing I'll say, I hope that come Friday, when those funny cars hit the line, you're going to be covering more than just John Force's condition. I hope you also point out the fact that Austin Prock, on that same day that John had his crash, carried the team on his back and won that event for John and took it to the hospital for him. I hope you also point out the fact that Brittany Force is having a rebounding weekend. I also report on the fact that Doug Coletta is having an incredible season, won his third event, I believe, this past week, and that'll be something I cover in another video later. Also, the fact that NHRA broke his record. I hope that the people that are jumping on this bandwagon to get their clicks and get their subscribers for this content is going to stick around long enough to see how it all plays out and actually is here for the end of it. Because there's a lot going on here that is at stake, not just with John Force Racing, but the rest of the season as well. And if you want a spot at the table, then please provide something or pack it up and go back to covering Chase Briscoe and what you think of Tony Stewart, because I don't need it and I don't want it. So with that out of the way, let's actually talk about a little bit on what's going on with this. So like I said, I'm not going to speculate any further as to what's going on, but one thing I do want to note that was said in the article, it is stated from an NHRA spokesperson that there is no replacement driver entered for the event, and that is backed up both on the entry list on NHRA.com as well as their official statistic entry list website that they actually post the official one on. But like they said there isn't one. That doesn't mean there won't be, because that can still change. We can still have an announcement come out later tonight. They released a statement back on Monday at like 10 p.m. We could see the same thing here. If not, we could see it happen on Thursday afternoon, or we can have it happen on Friday at the track. This will not be official until either John Force Racing releases a statement or we hear something else come out regardless. I did get some sort of word that that's more than likely what's going to happen, but I've still yet to have any confirmation from John Force Racing or any confirmation regarding what's going to happen with that car, or even the fact of whether or not that team will be on the property. Austin Prock and Brittany Force will be on the property racing this weekend, as well as the rest of the family who has said they're going to be making an appearance, but there's still no word on whether or not that car and trailer will be with the armada of Force cars that take up usually a quarter of the paddock anyways. What I will say, however, this is not a surprise that this will probably be the case. Like I said in the past, this is an extremely short turnaround time to have happen. You're talking literally a week. So from the moment that John's crash happened, you have roughly 5 days to find a driver, get him to Indianapolis, get him in a fire suit, get him suited up, get a seat fitting, and then clear it with the sponsors to make sure that they're okay with him being in the car. There's a lot that goes into getting this done, and with this happening where it happened, it's really hard for them to try and find somebody on a short time frame. So I guarantee you right now, there's a lot of people at John Force Racing that are running around trying to fill in the dots to get this thing prepared in case they do need to plan ahead on what they need to do. So again, I'm not sure what the future of that car is going to be. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to respect it and wait for a statement to come out. If it does come out, you will hear first. Well, you won't hear here first. I'm not even going to try that, but you will hear it here. I will make a video. I will cover it. If not, you can follow me on social media pages down below. Mighty Mac on 3 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. There will be updates somewhere from me about that, and then a video will come out later describing that and then talking further upon that. Like I said, the car is still second in the points behind teammate Austin Prock. Whether it will be a substitute, completely another story that will be talked about at a later date. And that pretty much is the updates that I have. We don't know really much of what's going on. The family has not released any statements on a condition to John Force, and because of that, I'm going to respect that out of the well wishes of the family and the team as a whole to not create any more stress than what they're probably going to be dealing with right now. So that's going to wrap up the video, but before I do end the video, I do want to send my condolences on behalf of all of us here at Mighty Mac to our friends over at Competition Plus. Yesterday, their longtime photographer and photo director Roger Richards passed away in his South Carolina home. He has been with them since the beginning. He started with Bobby Bennett back 25 years ago when they first started this. He was an iconic and beloved photographer in the drag racing world. Many people have come forward sharing their stories with Roger, and his presence will be deeply missed in the NHRA paddock. We send our well wishes to Roger's family, the Competition Plus family, and the entire drag racing world who is mourning his loss. And that is something that I do want to reiterate to Bobby, to all the people at Competition Plus. Our thoughts are with you in this really troubling time. Bobby went on last night on the Competition Plus Power Hour, and you can see he was very open about how much this affected him. He shared a lot of stories. Roger's been with him since the beginning of when Competition Plus started and stuck with him through all of it. And he was a very well-known photographer, and if you didn't even know his name, you would know him when you see him because of his Fu Manchu mustache and his classic hat that he always wore. One of the things I always remembered is you would see him riding around a scooter. I came in too late into the sport to really get to talk to him too much, but you always knew where to find him because I would leave the track at about 1 in the morning, head to my car, and you would see the white Competition Plus Mercedes Sprinter van with a little scooter sitting outside that he would be wheeling around from the staging lanes and then end up back there doing his job. He was very dedicated to his job. He was very dedicated to his craft, and man, was you could tell just by the fact that he was wheeling a scooter on grass to go take photos that he loved what he did. So again, to our friends over at Competition Plus, our thoughts are with you in this troubling time, and we give all of you our best thoughts and prayers heading forward. As for us, that's going to wrap up the video. Until Norwalk, this has been Mighty Mac, and I will see you next time.